소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
Safe to say, MVP has about 3 times louder of a chance. Will it help? Will it work to get this team back on their feet and somehow come back and win 3 games against a team that looks really impressive?
MVP fans have come through so much adversity. Remember the season where they were marooned as rank 10 on the LCK ladder and actually managed to jump up to 8th and escape relegation off of ADD having a renaissance on tanks. That was summer of last year as a counterpoint to them qualifying for Rift Rivals, finishing 4th in spring of 2017. But all you need to know is 8th into relegation tournament has been the trajectory after the 4th place that MVP were able to pick up. I believe it was 6th in their first season, 2016 summer, into 4th, into 8th, and then from there, double relegations. So unfortunately for MVP, they've never been able to arrest that slide, and now they find themselves with 3 match points to their enemies.
It's going to get interesting. We've been talking about how Pilot is the big carry for their team. If he can win against this kind of composition with the help of his friends, man, that will be really impressive, right? This is not an easy composition to do it against. We've mentioned it many times. Just as the final point, he seems to be the big carry. ADD has taken a back seat into the tank role as Pilot has become the alpha of the team. Can he do it when it matters most against one of the hardest compositions to survive against is the big question. Can't wait to find out.
They did get nice wards. See if you notice MVP had a ward around both scuttles. It's on the entrance on the left there. Very close to the Spire, if you're looking at the mini-map on a small monitor. They do want to... Basically, you have to have those wards. One strategy in this sort of a scenario is you bring a sweeper level 1 and you say, no, you're only getting 1. By camping that brush and stopping there from being a river ward, because you want to deny any information possible and increase the chance that Camille gets the drop onto Skarner. The Galio plops himself on top and you pick up a first blood. Not going to see that just yet.
You ever read the book Hop on Pop?
I did not, no.
It was one of those Dr. Seuss books. I don't know if that was the title, but there was a page of Hop on Pop. I think it was Hop on Pop. That's what I always think about when you talk about hopping on in with Galio. I guess Camille is Pop, and Galio's the little kids in the book that are hopping on Pop.
As you know,
just a side note, as nothing else is going on.
I like calling it the Goomba Stomp, personally.
Yeah.
But for my Super Mario analogy, Ian walks up to Onflake, but Galio's actually quite slow here.
Yeah, surprisingly slow. Looks like there was a wave underneath the turret, and so, you know, a little bit of damage there with double buff from Onfleek, but he's only level 3, and it is Karma.
And at the end of the day, against Jace, Galio, and a Xayah lane, you got a Scuttle, which is already pretty good. There's no shutout here. In terms of the 2 Scuttles, Ian comes back with a Dark Seal and a Prayer in the mid lane. He wants to keep pushing. He wants to ensure that Dove's laning phase pre-6 sucks. As, speaking of sucky laning phases, seeing Max walk up, but doesn't actually register the stun on Joker or Hollow.
Yeah, just a bit of trading back and forth. Pilot has been a menace up against Joker here. Can be pretty annoying. Trying to actually just advance onto a level 4 Jace. Doesn't do bad just because of all the minions that were there. The runes from the Maokai in the top lane were Resolve, of course, Aftershock into Time Warp Tonic and Biscuiteer. He just wants to survive, sustain as long as possible. Try not to die.
A lot of respect for base damage. As Sora himself started not a Doran's Blade like you would assume, right? Or a Cull or something like that. He did start the Corrupting Potion here, so showing a lot of respect. Went back, gonna start his way onto, it looks like a Black Cleaver as the first purchase. Black Cleaver and Lord Dominic's become more and more common after Lord Dominic's changes. Is looking for a gank. They know Yondu's here. Oh, Onflake misses the tactical sweep. This could be a problem.
That's a really big one. Trying to lock him down now. Onflake, though, is taunted up there for just a minute. And ow, actually, Dove is able to do a nice amount of damage onto Ian. The rest of MVP is going to get that first roam, but Joker was there first. In the end, nobody dies. No flash is burned by Onflake as well.
And in any moments like this where the Camille comp falls back with no advantage gained, advantage should be to the side of MVP. We talk about this whenever we see Camille jungle, which admittedly is more often recently, that Camille jungle is that must first pick first ban champion in the LPL, where there is more kills per minute by a lot compared to the LCK, where Camille's strongest time, which is often pre-6 and just the ability to gank from level 2 onwards, just gets waited out, and then it's just a Camille dying on the front line after using her ultimate, dying during the 4 seconds, even at level 16 that ult provides. In this particular game, no action for Camille just yet, but Camille has her super best friend in Galio for what should prove to be one way to actually keep Pilot dead in the start of a fight.
You'll notice the respect that Yondu shows around the Scuttle Crab. He says, okay, pushing in the mid lane from the Galio. I'm not going to try to 1v1 a Camille right now. You were mentioning how just the one Scuttle Crab was good, but we'll see just how many he can sneak in the future, because OnFleek definitely going to be looking to control all of those objectives.
Wants to spend as much time on single target camps or champions as possible. Doesn't really want to go take out those AoE camps. We'll see if a Tiamat is purchased. My first thought is no, but always can be considered onto something like the Camille. Even saw Lee Sin going Tiamat in the LCK recently. So people are taking those options. Every Kai'Sa player knows that if you hit those Void Seekers in lane, they do a lot of base damage, about 130 damage or so. So feel good about working down that health bar. No potions force from either of these Doran Shields carries just yet.
Oh, he pulled the feathers back. That's really awkward. He's going to miss a bunch, and the game is going to lag.
Visual lag, by the way, guys, not an actual game lag.
I know. I was just false hyping it up.
I know you know, but we do have some people that just get about 10 minutes in and don't actually get to know about all the previous things. So sorry about that one, guys. I was watching a lot of Tracking the Pros, because as we talked about yesterday, it is that early Christmas for us League of Legends fans, and all the interesting hodgepodges of players from around the world are currently playing against each other. A lot of visual lags in that spectator mode as well, so seems like just a client issue at the moment. Hopefully gone before Worlds.
Yeah, you never experience it in the real game. OnFleek, though, waiting for the moment. He pushes up here, Ian. Got to be real careful about that. Really trying to bait him in here is Dove. And Ian, though, is going to be respectful. We've seen so many Karmas in the past get behind early, blow their flash, and then get ganked again and again. Ian's trying not to be just another statistic.
And Skarner playing the fun game of taking Raptors and Wolves and coming back mid lane to be there for a counter gank. OnFleek is, you know, it's not a game issue, by the way. No pauses. He's just chilling. I don't think this is going to work, OnFleek. I think maybe work towards your Wolves.
There's just nothing on the top side of the map.
Except for the Scuttle, which is keeping him here, apparently.
Ooh, Pilot really low now. Joker looks like he got it in. The flash on him from Hollow, first blood. He's probably going to have to trade his life, though. The one-way trip just come in, and actually a kill in the mid lane as well. That camping actually finally came through and helped out.
I have no idea how that worked. Is Sora taking a bit of damage. Topside has to flash away from the ultimate. Awkward. All right, that happened.
Wow. Okay. OnFleek also going to go for the Mountain Drake.
No one expects the 60 seconds of camp in the mid lane. But that is what it took in the end for the Camille to pick up the kill.
Uh-oh, Joker.
Is he just dead?
We talked about getting caught before, Joker. He doesn't have his flash, and there it is. Definitely a mistake, but nice capitalization by the bottom lane of Max and Pilot.
Usually that sort of greed is reserved for the AD carry, who's 100 gold short of his BF sword. Seems like Joker was trying to just come in and push the lane forward again and again with the W. We started here. This is what we were watching on the minimap. We can see the extended camp. It was a blade caller there, and just a full burst from Pilot. Got away from the second start of the R. Here's the other side, though, as finally Ian walked up to put down the lane ward. That's so funny. He walked up to put down the lane ward to track the Galio, and that's when he finally died.
They were just waiting for it. They knew on wave number 4 that he was going to go for that timing.
Calculated.
Yes, very much so. What a play.
The flash, as you mentioned, not going to cover him in glory either. All right, Hollow, this time better last hitting under turret. Uh-huh. All right.
Okay.
Okay, so far so
Pretty good. Good help from the support. Nice.
All right. Golf clap from me. Did
there you go.
Nicely done. See, one mistake. Next time, much better.
Does put him about 18 CS behind. Definitely not what you want here. Hollow having a rough time. Pilot's aggression in the lane alongside Max. Definitely doing its job.
Yondu hops to Predator. Not really sure what for because it's Galio. Sora up top lane. He's actually gone for Executioner's Calling. Maokai healing is a little bit less often, but is still a nice big value, so wants to slow him down as much as possible. Sora plays all the tanks and Jace, so you best believe you can play both sides of Jace matchups.
Yeah. And I hope I'm not expecting much, but definitely isn't the cleanest Jace I've ever seen of all time. Looked a little bit more impressive on the tanks, but I guess I'm pretty spoiled. You know, we got Khan, we got Smeb. It's kind of hard for us LCK casters.
Cuvée on a good day, too.
Yeah.
Dove continues to be Galio. Watching Battlecomics. On Flake's top side, do they actually have enough damage to take down the Maokai? We're going to find out.
Here he is. They do have Hextech Ultimatum. There is no escape for ADD. Is he going to flash? He is, but one shot blast. Not accelerated, but one auto will do the trick. That's the second player on MVP to flash after it, not just accepting their death.
There was no inevitability to the kill to the final auto hit, though. There was no flash on Sora to follow with the auto. Just finds the range, just overkills by about 20 damage. They get that kill. Walk towards the Rift Herald, but they don't finish it off. Gonna watch the replay. AD comes in at what? 70% health, and it was about 80% when the fight starts with the EQ hits. Nothing is dodged. You can't be untargetable for long enough to also dodge the hook shot. That would have been more damage decreased. The press the attack buff is still there as the auto comes in. The overkill is real, but not by much. Important that Battlecomics picks up any advantage they can, because notice the gold lead is not there.
Good communication, too, from Battlecomics on Fleek and Sora, saying, hey, he just put a sapling in that bush. Do not go in there. And they just waited that long engage range from the Camille, really helping out. And he's going to have that back here, actually, relatively soon. Wondering about his runes, but either way, Max takes a bunch of damage on the backside of this fight. Still hanging around this mid lane here is on Fleek.
Stopwatch actually purchased by Ian, doesn't want to deal with all these ganks mid side, and here's Dove.
Oh, he actually flashes away from that one. Big respect, especially because of Maokai down on the bottom side. Big engage. Max ults at the end of it. And now here's Pilot for the follow-up. He's going to get that passive. One more auto does it, and a double kill to the Kai'Sa already.
Hollow had 88 mana, so could not use his ultimate at the end. Important chase down kill. Athene's is done. First item is done, and 3 kills onto the Kai'Sa. Is this where the MVP fight back begins?
Definitely could be as well. Pilot just barely didn't have his flash in this one as well.
And watch the replay. Max goes in. He actually doesn't use his ult early. Nice burst there, as in the picture-in-picture we're seeing a bit of pushing him. I believe Kai'Sa died.
Pilot died, and actually the big streak, 600 gold, was given to Camille. So, ugh.
I guess he pushed for one wave too many, as we were alluding to earlier. Oops, I guess you can say about that one. Reminder, it is the promotion tournament.
Yep. At least it's not the losers match anymore.
No, we're the winners of the losers and the losers of the winners.
Sounds good, I guess.
Sounds confusing,
yeah,
is what it sounds like, but we can now see the replay on Fleek is shown because the ward is disabled and it was just placed. And Pilot thinks he's fine. He really isn't.
I guess he just didn't realize. I don't know. Didn't see him coming on in. Now we're 2-0-1 on Camille with a shutdown kill, which is an extra 300 gold.
That all seemed a bit easy, if I'm going to be honest. And maybe it's a gold transfer from Hollow to OnFleek. If you ask me who I'd rather have a nice streak on, I would say OnFleek. So, glass half full for the side of Battlecomics. Not sure which way the graph should be going, up or down. We'll leave it in the middle for now. It does mean the Trinity Force into Guardian Angel might be a bit earlier for OnFleek, whose his hook shot is down. Yondu wants to keep onto the Scuttle Crabs. Do notice, it is 2-2 in Scuttle Crabs, so not going to be completely monopolized by Battlecomics.
OnFleek hops the wall just in case they needed him up on the top side, as it was getting pretty low. Sora was thinking about it. He wanted to get greedy, but did back away. Would love that first turret of the game to get that extra gold on your Jace. That'll be nice. Another engage in the bottom side. Joker gets extremely low. Nice blade caller though, and Pilot is gonna have that stopwatch, but Joker is gonna time it with the stun, and now Max, all the daggers get pulled back. Those feathers, can he get the kill though? The one last auto, and that's gonna do it. Sora in the top side also gets it. The game is falling apart.
They're even killing a Rift Herald. The death is being brought everywhere by Team Battlecomics. Dove doesn't even have to use his ultimate, and the Galio comes winning around the map.
It's a good time to be a Battlecomics fan. They are
this
going
is
to
what we
sweep
call
them up here.
An excitement bubble. The excitement bubble for Battlecomics is really, really growing at an alarming rate. We're going to watch this one. Remember, it was just a 2-for-0, and we get a reverse 2-for-0 not 5 minutes later.
It's all hollow. Does the damage to Pilot. Holds him in place. I think he actually wasn't in range of Joker, and he couldn't do the damage. Then all the feathers are out there. Joker just stays alive on the backside. Keep in mind that Alistar was 2 levels above Morgana in that fight, and they still lost.
Another point to remember, excitement bubbles, big problem for KT investors. We don't have definitive information about Team BTC when it comes to those excitement bubbles. Maybe they're actually good for them.
Well, the thing about bubbles is that they last and then eventually they burst, Papa Smithy, as everybody who invested in any kind of coin in 2017 knows. And, well, when does the bubble burst for Battlecomics? Because so far, I'm pretty happy with their play.
It's time for another 2-for-0. Which way is it going? We don't know.
Not able to land that binding, but they did have On Fleek coming as well. How about a second Mountain Drake? Yondu is here, though, so it's not going to be guaranteed. Let's see how far On Fleek goes for the Dragon. Not far at all.
Gonna start it. Didn't look at his item timing, but will not have Trinity Force just yet. I want to see Dove Goomba Stomp someone. He's kind of just been wave clearing. Not often there's 6 kills in the game, and Galio not involved in any of them, I believe.
Yeah. How does a Galio do that? It's pretty impressive.
That's Dove, man. He's next level.
It's like, actually, you only want to use your ult after level 11. That's the only time it matters. I'm like, I don't know about that, Dove.
Well,
we'll see.
Maybe he heard you're only as good as your use of your first ultimate, and he wants it to be really good.
Looks like we're going to have an opportunity for that first ultimate, by the way. All that pushing in the mid lane gets Ian behind. And there's the bait here from Joker. He's going to land one stun, it looks like, onto Max. Hollow is going to be zoned out, though, in the TP. Hollow in a really awkward spot, and Max is still there. But how about the one-on-one? On Fleek onto Ian here, but Yondu's in position. The Galio comes in, but it looks like he went a little bit too far. Finally does go down. Nice follow-up engage from Max. He's going to get a double kill now for the Kaisa, and everybody on BTC is on the run now. Soar going to have to flash away from that one. Pilot not able to follow up, but 2 kills as Battlecomics go too deep.
Battlecomics too sloppy when they were actually pulling the trigger. Couldn't get any value out of the first ultimate from the Galio. He may get an assist, but no more, no less. They back away from this 6-6 in terms of kills. And this will be the answering Mountain Drake in this topsy-turvy game.
Wow, okay, wasn't expecting this. Maybe the bubble has already burst here for Battlecomics. You would hate for this fight to be the one that gets you behind in this game. See how it is going to go. Pilot sticking around. Really would like to take out that turret. Not going to happen here, but you mentioned the Mountain Drake. Things slowly beginning to go in the direction of MVP.
Maybe this game is a sobering reminder to investors into things like cryptocurrency that maybe watching every moment, every up and down might make you panic and make the wrong decision. If you come back and just look at the match thread, you'll know how things went. You'll be able to make a smarter, informed decision. As I think ulting onto On Fleek earlier would have been the real thing you wanted. Is there's 3 people there before Galio even completes his ultimate. From here, Dove has his flash up, but doesn't choose to flash into the control-warded brush that MVP had. Would it have been enough to change anything? He uses his flash defensively, as we do see the Rift Herald crashing down the mid lane outer turret, and the gold lead is still there for Battlecomics.
Up 20 minutes here, and they're going to be really happy still with their position. One mistake doesn't mean the game is over, especially with a comp like this. Next time around, you just make your Camille Galio combination work for you a little bit better instead of On Fleek just going in and dying to 3 people by himself. So, can knock it up to mistakes for now, write it up to mistakes, but we'll see if they can actually have some better fights as the game does go along.
So we're going to be very results-oriented about these fights. We don't need analysis. This team won, they're the best. But let's focus on something before that. The table setting to us being right, because we just pretend that we're always right. 2 items on Kai'Sa. Xayah doesn't have the second item yet, and it's a cheaper 2-item build. So right now, Xayah being 30 CS and a mountain of kills behind is a small problem for the side of Team Battlecomics. We still see on Fleek in between items as we're going for a real gimmicky Baron, but it's already diagnosed by MVP. This is 5 members.
They
we're
know,
all in, baby.
Look at the 3 down in the bottom side. Can they get their input in time here? It's down to 5,000, 4,000.
We are so YOLO.
ADD, he's getting on in there. Where's the smite? It's not going to be on time, as it looks like On Fleek is going to be able to take it away. Hollow is left to the Wolves. They say, this is an 80 carry difference game. We don't care about you. And that means that the Baron, and only 1 kill goes to the side of MVP. Battlecomics are able to sneak that Baron.
That was incredibly YOLO, but at least the timing was there. The wins were there. They knew this was the time where the enemy jungler couldn't react, and they just straight up brute force it down. Almost never see plays like that in the LCK, but here we go. It's with Baron buff. Battlecomics are coming down. All their ultimates are available.
Poor Pilot, he's caught out here in a big way. They're going to use everything onto him. Only Max might be able to get out of this one, but maybe I spoke too soon, as this team is pretty good at chasing. Double kill over to the side of On Fleek. He's pretty on fleek on this Camille. Gotta love it.
You're watching Battlecomics this game and you're saying, damn, wouldn't it be fun to have them in the LCK? It may go on to be that they end up being the strugglers. They do have some players where you feel like in some roles they might be exposed. But when things come together, this team is super fun to watch. After having bottom teams that don't know how to win when they're ahead. Kind of every season, that's the 10th place team. It seems like when Battlecomics get ahead, they have some really innovative ways to try to close the game.
You guys did see this. I should probably talk about the live here, as ADD is going to get engaged on. But how about a TP from behind here from Pilot, looking to get on into it. Looks like only Dove is in that back line. The rest of Battlecomics going to leave him to the Wolves. Take a look at the other lanes, though. Jace in the mid lane with Baron pushing that on in. They'll make that trade every time.
If that's an investor play, that's a lose-lose there, and that was definitely a low-reward, low-risk play that's not going to change anything from the side of NBA. And look how many teleports they use. They use 2 from Ian and Pilot, and they lose 2 turrets. You know, it feels like we're getting a bit of a tutorial on how to buy, and it feels like MVP. That bank account's going bust at this point.
How far can you go, Papa Smithy? That's the real question. This bubble isn't ready to burst anytime soon. And, well, really like their play style. Battlecomics, I have to say, we weren't talking about them at all when we started this promotion tournament. It was all about Dom1, and probably MVP was going to be the second team that makes it back in the LCK. But now it's all about Battlecomics today.
Now I really need to know what the rules are on sponsors for teams, because suddenly there's a lot of orgs who are eyeing Team BTC for 2019. Saw walks up, he's probably dead.
Yeah, you know, you're not a tank this time. No Cho'Gath in this game. Trying to trade it onto Yondu, but there's not much that he can do here. The TP is coming in, and actually, I spoke way too soon. Yondu incredibly low here, and Sor gets out. Can he actually snipe him over the wall is the question. Not going to go for it. Dove now in a hard position, but does have that stopwatch. So many stopwatches. Big knockup from Max. Isn't going to win them the fight. But no, the Winds of War do come in. Missed hook shot by On Fleek. He's not able to follow up. In the end, it is just going to be 1-for-1, and a pretty precarious start there for Battlecomics.
Teleports are up on both ADD and Sor, but as you can see, respawn time is over 30 seconds, so won't be seeing that just yet. We back away, more action. The Baron buff is just about to wear off, but they got a lot of standing gold with all the turrets we saw rolling around. Only bot lane has an inner turret. Every other turret is down. This started off with a face check. How did it end up like this? It was only a face check. It was only a face check. He still lives for so long after the start of this. Turns out, Jace tankier than we expected.
You build a Black Cleaver, and apparently that's all you need if you want to be tanky in a game. Surprised that On Fleek didn't try to go for the snipe. Wanted to actually fight up against Ian with his sweeper.
From there's a lot of tanky engaged, a lot of threat. And Onfleek misses his hook shot. For once, that's why he's ranked 2, Valdez.
Well, he's behind Tarzan. Tarzan would have hit that hook shot.
He would have.
100%. We actually do know it. He would have hit that hook shot. Oh, man. Can he carry his team to second place? I'm sure he'd be pretty happy about that. That's the real question. What if next year it's Griffin #1 and Battlecomics #2? That would be a weird world.
Baby. That sounds great.
Yeah.
I feel like we've been spoiled when it comes to summer season being the biggest meme killer, but also the biggest hype generator. Sometimes League of Legends didn't really follow all the checklists, but man, was it fun. Seeing Camille off on the flank. Pilot needs to really choose his time to even show, because Camille is pretty damn good against the Kai'Sa, and that's why things are really falling into place for Battlecomics. There's a 6,000 gold lead for them as well.
Oh boy, ADD on the Maokai, just the sad Maokai. Hasn't really been able to do much in this game, and now he's spotted, trying to get on top of Onfleek here. He's gonna be just fine on the Camille. Camille, really good in the jungle if you can get a start. You know, if you don't get that start, if you don't get the gold, you look so weak, and they say, why did you even play it here in the jungle? Okay, Hollow in a bit of trouble here, but remember, guys, it is Galio, but is it now Galio's turn to be in trouble? Big taunts here, some damage, but most of it just gonna go on to Dove as Joker now going too close to the flame. The flash forward now from Pilot. Should be able to get the kill on a Joker as well. Nice little play there from MVP.
Really good to see. Pilot has for so long had to watch and not even reveal himself, but he goes in straight onto Hollow, who's late on the ultimate. They know Onfleek can't be there. They're going to take an inhibitor with this push.
Okay, talk about burst in the bubble. Looks like MVP want to do it personally here, as they're going for a lot. I mean, we're talking 20 seconds on the Galio now. Are they going to save for the inhibitor? It looks like no. Baron about to spawn here in 30 seconds. They don't want to overdo it.
And what about the Kai'Sa? Is she ready to absorb the Goomba Stomp that will come her way, turn around, stand, and deliver? Because we're getting closer to maybe territory. It was no for the longest time. The maybes are there. This is Pilot doing it all himself. He waits out, he hits his own Void Seeker and says, doesn't really matter if Galio comes in. Camille was killing minions on the top side and could not be there. Good read, good use of the ultimate also from the Maokai, who actually dropped the cat skin. He had enough of the memes. He wanted some serious thorns on the side of Bitcoin, and those thorns do make Bitcoin bleed this time. And yes, I did say Bitcoin
yes,
twice.
you did. You're getting it now, Papa Smithy. You're getting on the hype train.
I haven't invested yet. For full disclosure, no Bitcoins.
He owns 0 Bitcoins. Nice snipe there by Yondu. How about that for damage? Pilot, if they don't engage on him and he's doing the engaging, it actually looks quite nice for the side of MVP, who are nearing that moment. You know, we're 30 minutes in, but Pilot got so many kills that he's a little bit ahead of the curve here. 6 kills in total for this Kai'Sa.
See what the item choice is defensively. There's full damage for now. Knows he needs to kill the front line here from Battlecomics. It's mostly the Galio, for being honest. What do you build as Kai'Sa? Do you build Zhonya's? Banshee Veil? Kind of hard to tell. Second Baron of the game is not going to be rushed down by Battlecomics. MVP on top of this one. Now, Sora is in the base. Are they just going to go for the steal? It looks like it.
It's going to be up to Onfleek trying to get in. He gets it! The super early smite from the side of MVP. The Baron is taken, and we're going to the moon as Battlecomics are looking for the play.
Keep chasing. That's all they have to do. The game will end. Jace got Baron buff.
It looks like this might just do it. Soar with the Baron buff might be able, but the TP comes in from the Morgana, and they are able to lock down Pilot finally. And the TP did come in from actually Maokai and Karma down on the bottom side. I'm losing my mind.
This is the high part of the market. This is when everyone has started buying, Valdez. Team Battlecomics are going to close this game soon. It might not end here, but Pilot is dead for 33, and Jace does plenty of damage.
Might just be 33 seconds too long. You lose your one carry, and you're going to be hurting for it here. Big slow, big taunts. They're going to get another inhibitor, and they're pushing the top lane at the same time. Hollow, nice follow-up. Looks like we're going up, up, up. for this BTC team. Will they get that third inhibitor? Looks like they're not going to go for it just yet.
10 seconds on Pilot. They take a deep breath. That's 10 seconds to be tussled up. And then, of course, Pilot doesn't need to run very far with the home guard buff and also the ultimate. What a moment in this game. On Fleek is so desperate for the LCK. We already said, whether it's Battlecomics or no, surely he's done enough already. He pops in, he gets the Baron, and then Jace, who was pushing pretty fast already, had the Baron, and it was Operation Zombie Interrupt for Battlecomics.
Looks like Yangju didn't even use the smite. Really unfortunate. I thought the smite was early, but it was actually just a burst of damage, and it was perfect timing there from On Fleek. As you mentioned, he's desperate for LCK. He wants to follow up all the other challenger teams that are making it in now. Griffin up there, Dom1 also getting in. Battlecomics want to be number 3.
On Fleek has had the best jungle performance by far in a promotion tournament. The only comparable one I can remember was Spenisonic Boom when Floor, now known as Flawless, who went over to the LPL, showed off his Lee Sin a couple of games in a row, and whatever you say about Flawless's games, and yes, we can laugh about Buffless, his Lee Sin was another worldly when he played it in the promotion tournament. On Fleek has been better and more consistent on so many different picks in this promotion tournament that whether it's on Battlecomics or a different team, it would be a tragedy not to see him at LCK next year.
I'd say 110%. I mean, he's just too good. Somebody's going to pick him up. I just hope he gets the money that he deserves because he's pretty insanely good, as we can easily tell here. Push going to come on up to the top side now. They're looking to try to end this game and make LCK.
All right, here we go.
ADD, can they get the engage? Max comes in. They can't quite do it. Ian and Yondu taking a lot of damage, and here comes On Fleek. Just threatening on the right side, and that means they cannot stop that inhibitor.
I think it was really smart. He kited out, but here we go. 3 inhibitor waves going to be coming very soon. Not the easiest base defense for MVP, but not the closest range team either from Battlecomics. Can they do this? They don't have much Baron buff remaining.
They might just have enough, though. Look at how much damage it does. In goes Pilot into the top side. Just look at the Kai'Sa. Can he do it? The Galio engage, not going to be good. Pilot is able to do damage on the backside. Takes out 2.
He's dead.
But they take him out finally. And it doesn't look like Ian is going to be able to stay alive here as they're going to get the kill. And guess what, guys? We got Battlecomics in the LCK.
3 teams promoted in the same year. Griffin went on to finish 2nd in LCK Summer. But now we have 2 teams in LCK Spring 2019. When it does go to Jungak at the Riot Lol Park, it will be Team Battlecomics joining Dam1 Gaming